Well, hey, there you are, Sonia here. Welcome to Out Here on the Farm. Years ago, when my two daughters were fairly young, we lived out in the country, and they came across this little raccoon. Seemed to be hurt or not doing too well. So they decided they were going to rescue him. We're going to take care of him and nurture him back into health. They went into the barn and they found this cage and they put him in this cage. They went out and fed him and watered him and did this for several days. And he seemed to be recuperating quite well. Took a little while, but for some reason, he just needed a little care. Just for a period of time was all it was. What they didn't know was they weren't going to get to keep him as a pet. Something about some of us, sometimes we like to hold on to things that are only for temporary reasons and purposes to help an individual along their way, possibly. But they encaged him. And he was content with that for a while because he knew he needed help. But shortly after that, she reached inside the cage and he nailed her good. He clawed her. She did not understand why he did that. But it took a little while for her to realize that he was well, and it was time for him to be released. Now, there are times in our lives that we run across people that, or things, situations, places, we like to hang on to, and we don't want to let go. We think this is a permanent situation, but we really do need to use wisdom. When something comes along, or someone, and we take care of it, or help lead it, or guide it, or get it established, and what have you, doesn't always mean they're going to be there for the rest of your life. They kind of come against you when it's time for them to go. It's not against you so much as the fact that they know they need to be free. This was a little wild animal, and he knew that wasn't what his destiny was to be, is to be encaged, even though at that time, there was a period of time he needed it. But now he no longer needed it. And that was his way of letting her know, I'm healed and I'm ready to be freed. Well, reluctantly, she opened the little cage and he went out, but he stopped for just a moment and grabbed a little morsel of food, started walking out the door of the barn, and he turned around and gave her a look of gratitude. Now, that's what we need to focus on. There are times, as I said, people may come into our lives. Sometimes we have to let children grow up and go on and find their life and get established. It's not always an easy thing to do, is it? But yet, we know it must be done. You can have the connection with that person. Doesn't mean you have to completely cut yourself off from them for the rest of their life. It means that sometimes if you love someone or something, sometimes you just got to let it go. Well, they watched for their little coon to come back, but he never did. But I told her, I said, when he turned around and looked at you like he did, and then he just waddled on off, that was showing you that he appreciated all the help that you're giving. Now, in your life, you may have situations that you feel like you really don't want to let go of. And it's not working out because that person or that thing is not working for you, working kind of against you. And it's only because it's time for them or it to be released. We have to let go sometimes. And as I said, if you love someone, you can set them free. Not always easy, like I said, but it can be done. We can help and be a strength and a nourishment to those come along in our lives, and then watch them grow, and then let them go. And until next time.